Hi everyone, welcome back to Boy Problems, sponsored by you by Kotex. We have a great episode for you today. Let's get into it. So today I'm wearing black with a smidge of pink because today is a funeral for Crazy Liz. I'm officially retiring as a psycho. We had a really good run, a lot of high highs, a lot of low lows. Thank you to everyone who supported me on this journey. I really couldn't have done it without you. I basically feel like there was no parental supervision for a while, and now they're back. Like, they were out of town. A lot of stuff happened that shouldn't have happened, but the parents are me, and I'm taking care of business, and it feels healthy. It feels necessary, and it feels momentous. I don't know if I use that word in the right way. Today, I am soft launching my sanity. I've blocked, I've saged, and I've meditated with so much rage in my heart that it cleared like 3 generations of trauma. I am full, I am free, and I am healed adjacent. I'm pretty much healed-ish. And it wasn't easy. There were many relapses. I even almost re-downloaded Hinge. So I've updated my terms and conditions, and I am announcing a tariff on love bombing, effective now. To really ground this practice, I came up with a few ground rules to keep me on track. Is I vow right hand or left hand? I vow to create a life so good I need sunglasses to look at it. I vow to do the thing that my therapist suggested instead of just saying, that's so true, and doing the exact opposite. I vow to never get a couples massage on a second date. That one is based on experience. I vowed to never let my self-worth be dictated by a man who uses 3-in-1 shampoo. I vow not to use AI to make generated images of what our babies would look like. I vow not to question why I got a red heart from the person I'm dating and what it means for our future. I vow not to give any man that kind of power over me, even Timothée Chalamet, unless he asks nicely. This is not a phase. This is a mental health glow up. A person that has helped me tremendously leave Crazy Liz behind is my friend Heather, who is iconic in every way. She's one of the most sought out actresses in the entire world. She is in one of your favorite movies, if not multiple of your favorite movies. Austin Powers, she's in Boogie Nights, she's in Bowfinger, she's in The Hangover. She is in every great movie that's ever existed, and she is the best part of every movie she's been in. So Heather Graham, welcome to Boy Problems.
I'm so proud of you, Liz.
I am here because of you.
Aw.
You know,
made me start crying.
I'm gonna start crying. The last few months have been amazing, but also very challenging. A lot of ends, and new beginnings like this one. And it is all thanks to you. You gave me so much support, so much love, so much joy.
I know all of your friends, our little committee, we were always like, Liz, you need your own podcast. And now,
here it is. Straight out of Heather Graham's head.
Studios. This is very fancy.
And you give the best advice of anyone that I've ever had the opportunity to know. I mean, Nina, we should talk about Okay, because one thing that I thought about a couple months ago, after you gave me the best advice and I didn't ruin my life, which I almost do all the time, and thanks to Heather, don't do.
You have a very entertaining life. I have to say, I enjoy hearing about it. It's just so fun.
Well, it's just I don't know. There's this meme of the friend you're worried about, and sometimes I'm like, am I the friend? Because we have this group of friends, and I'm I'm the least healed one in the friend group. I hope other people can relate to this. Where
but you're younger, so you know whatever we've been. It's a lot of things that you do. I'm I've been there. I've done that.
Well, you are so healed in so many beautiful ways, and you don't just exude that, but it's really contagious. You really help the other people around you get to that same clarity and self-love and you're sentient. You're human Xanax. It really is taking a Xanax, just spending time at Heather's house. Something just is so magical about you. But I know that it took a lot of work. I know that you weren't. Well, you were born this way. You're angelic, but you also had to work really hard. But the other day, I was thinking, there's this meme of thinking about how your big sister doesn't have a big sister, I'm like, oh my God, Heathergram doesn't have a Heathergram. Like, you don't have a Heather. So, like, how do you get through life?
So funny.
Or who is your Heather, actually?
Nina.
Like, the friend, yeah.
Nina and Deb, our little friend group of you and me and Nina and Deb. No, Nina's been she's been my Heathergram.
What's the best advice Nina has ever given you?
Well, okay, for dating, she'll say, if you're meant to be together, then nothing can tear you apart. If you're not meant to be together, nothing you do will keep you together. So it's kind of like out of your control. Like, you can love someone, but it's like, that to me feels really, it makes me relax.
I thought I could control everything.
Yeah.
And, like, thought it was my job. And again, that if I wasn't controlling things, especially with dating and relationships, like, that somehow things were going to fall apart. And actually, through, again, having this amazing friendship with you, I've realized, like, no, when I think I can control it, like, I ruin it. Like, most of the time, right? By thinking I can.
Yeah. But that shows a lot of bravery on your part to look at your part, as opposed to, it's easy to blame the other person, but when you can really look at yourself, I think that just shows it's freeing. But I think one other great thing is saying, like, what do you want? You know, because I think a lot of times as women, we're like, are they going to like me, or what do other people think? But to really just go, what do I want? Like, do I like them? That, like, gives you back the power and makes you think about, like, what do you really want?
Yeah, right. What do I want? And it's so good. And I copy you all the time.
Now I
like
just
pull
have to
a
keep telling
Heathergram.
you that you're the prize. Like, any person who ever gets to be around you, whether it be a friend or a boyfriend or whoever, like, is a very lucky person.
See? Oh my God. This is why I wanted you on the show. I feel so lucky to have you.
I'm sure all the listeners will agree, because they're all your fans.
Well, thank you. So sweet. But yes, I'm like, you have no idea. I mean, you have an idea now hearing her speak, but like, the luck to have Heather Graham answer your boy problems today. But before we get into it, do you have a boy problem?
You know all my boy
problems. They're sent like under they can't be.
Well, I'm having a new beginning and in my life, and yes, I'm alone, and it's kind of nice, you know. I have to say,
What's nice about it?
It's peaceful, you know. There's no fighting, and I am just going, what do I want?
And because I feel that you have been like glowing. I told you this yesterday.
Really?
Like, I saw you and I was like, oh my God, you. And I know, again, like, it's not because everything's perfect in your life, but like you do seem to be like reconnecting with the amazing like person that you are, and
it's
the
like
things that you want to do.
It's like trying to fix a problem that's hard to fix, and then just going kind of like to the universe. Okay, I don't know what to do. Show me. And that's kind of like, if you're meant to be together, you will. If you're not, you won't. So it's just like, let go of like trying to grip onto things.
What's your advice to someone who's going through like either a breakup or like the end of something, and they just can't stop thinking about the person, or can't stop thinking about maybe like their part? How do they like enjoy their life and enjoy who they?
Well, I think
like
it's a mixture of like being there for yourself as you are sad and grieving, and also just like not letting yourself sit in that like the entire day, right? And so get out, go do things that are good for you. Talk to your girlfriends. I think it's really important to like lean on your friends in those moments, and to do things that make you feel good, that are outside of being in a relationship. You know, work out, go be in nature, be around people that make you feel really good about yourself.
Adriana and I were just talking about this, where she was like, because she's Gen Z. Okay. We're like 3 generations of women. And she's Gen Z, but she's like, my life actually is kind of very millennial. Like, she will see people in person a lot. She like has wine, because a lot of Gen Z are like sober and like they don't do anything fun. Not that being sober is not doing anything fun. But and what else do you
I just have a lot of resentment towards Gen Z having this hyper structured life. I think you need to let life happen to you, and I think Liz does that so beautifully. Like, she lives life to the fullest.
But I
like, your energy is amazing, by the way. Well, you come in this room and like Liz's energy is like, whoa, it's so fun.
Stop. You know? That's how I feel about you. But that's because I was gonna say I feel like you, and I don't think I've ever told you this, but like you really drag me out of my worst like habits, or the things that I do to like self-regulate that are actually not great, like isolate. Right? Like you are someone who feels very millennial in the sense that you like see people in person, and you do dinner parties, and you like, and when we're like, if you're in town, right? Because you work so much, and you do all these amazing movies, and like South Africa, and like all over the world. But when you're in the same place as your friends, you're like, do you want to hang out on this day? Do you want to go to yoga on that time? Like, do you guys want to come over? Like, you're such a host.
Yeah.
And you gather people, and like being at your house and like just being with you again is like you just leave
it gives
feeling.
me a lot of love. Like I love being around you. I mean, one thing I think is interesting is like the idea that sometimes you're in a relationship and will trigger like historical stuff from your past. It usually goes back to your family. So even though the relationship you might think it's the relationship, a lot of times it goes back to something that happened to you as a kid, and to sort of like unearth that and sort of heal that.
How do you do that though? How do you know? Okay, how do you know? This is a big one. I always like ask myself, and I feel like I have you on speed dial, but most people don't. So how do you know if you are triggered by something in the past, right? How do you know it's hysterical?
Yeah.
Or how do you know that like the person actually like this? Okay, let's talk about what happened. Like whatever. This weekend I like fully crashed out. Also, this is like an episode about how I'm having a funeral for my crazy Liz era. Like I'm like now sane, which is you'll probably like really, but yeah, I'm wearing black. You're wearing black. I didn't even tell you to wear black, and you wore black.
That is so
my
funny.
tummy always hurts, except when I eat Heather's food.
Too.
You're a really good cook. You need a cookbook. If anyone.
I know. Liz keeps trying to get me to have a cooking
Every
show.
time I go to your house, I'm like,
out there, if you
we go to dinner and no one talks because everyone's like eating and it tastes so good. You are such a good cook. It's crazy. But okay, blah, blah, blah. Last weekend, crashed out. Like I literally we have this committee group chat where we like drop, issues or things to celebrate. Yeah. And it was like 5:30 in the like when you're just like jolted wide open, like woken up by your anxiety, and I just couldn't sleep, and so I got up and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna send them a voice note, and I sent them the most like unhinged, like it's like a 5 a.m. like you can hear the garbage trucks, like it's just me and the garbage trucks, and like so anyway, it's just like I don't really care, like I don't care, like I don't really like I literally don't care, but I keep thinking about it, and I it's just so obvious that Am I too intense? Am I crashing
No.
out?
You are hilarious. You're so funny.
No, you're so funny.
Oh my God, I love it.
And so you lovingly called me because you were like, I'm not even gonna respond. I think she needs a call. And then you called me and you helped me so much understand again in the situation. I think this was a tricky situation where like I was both being triggered and also like I was having a reaction to something real with this person that had a valid reason to be upset about, but my reaction was coming from a triggered place.
Yeah, usually it's both. Like something happens in your life and then it's stressful, but then it triggers something from your past and then it's like 10 times as stressful or 100 times as stressful.
And so how do you know, again, in this moment you were really helpful. You were like, ask for you validated my feelings, and then you were like, ask for exactly what you want, and I think what you're asking for is normal and blah blah blah. And then I did, but and it again, and then I had a conversation that I literally, like, when I have to tell someone my feelings or hurt, it feels like I'm diving into like a pool full of knives. Like it's like I feel like I'm gonna die. And you helped me, basically have the courage to do that. But like what about you? Like, can you ever not tell the difference? Like, how do you know that it's the person, basically, how do you know you're the problem or they're the problem?
That is a good question. Well, you need really good girlfriends, or maybe you need to call into Boy Problems, this show. You need someone to say like, okay, you're kind of like overreacting here, or maybe you shouldn't have said that, or like, no, that person's being a jerk. You do need other people to talk to who are smart, because sometimes when you're in your own head, you can't really tell.
You can't.
You need like that phone call, because like there's some people you call and then you talk to them and then you're spiraling and it gets worse, and you're just like, oh my God, now. And there's other people you call and they'll just like say a few things. You'll be like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. You almost need like a gut check friend. Or again, it doesn't have to be the same friend. Yeah. You can have your own little committee.
Also, I think it helps to kind of like take some time, like a few hours, a few days, calm down. And when you're not like totally triggered to go, then you can have more perspective. Right. Is this me? But sometimes you do need like a good friend to be like, you're screwing this up. You could handle this better or something in a nice way. Yeah.
Like I feel like you had a friend called Mark, which would give you really good advice of like, what was he would say like, these are white girl like what would he say?
Like I would call you like blah 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 blah, and he'd be like, these are white girl problems, and then I would just laugh. Sometimes you need that friend that has a sense of humor, or he'll be like, well, maybe you want to be in pain, so just keep doing that.
Wow. Do you think sometimes you choose pain? Like
probably Probably without knowing it, maybe
Yeah.
subconsciously, yeah.
Well, if you have had a lot of pain or if love is associated with pain, right? Like, let's say as a child,
Yeah,
right? Whatever it
yeah.
is, then you think it's supposed to be that way, right? Like,
Yeah.
there are people who just create that pain because that's what they think love is.
Well, I think sometimes, I think my personal problem is that I would say mean things to myself based on, I think, how I grew up or how my family treated me. And then I would think it was true. And then it's like getting outside of yourself and just being like, oh, no, you're just saying a bunch of mean stuff to yourself that's not even true. And that's where friends are so important.
Yeah, friends will be like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, well that's really useful. So phone a friend, basically.
Phone a friend. I mean, go to therapy. There's so many things you could do. Go to a 12-step group. Like, have some help that is, really loving, but also can tell you the truth.
Yeah, and I feel like so much of, I don't know, the era we're in, Adriana, I feel like you totally know this. We're in this weird I don't want to say over therapized, because I think the fact that people are more in therapy and talking about their feelings more is great, but I feel like we're doing so much thinking and not a lot of doing.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? And part of doing is if you're upset, share it, right? Or share it again with a friend. Don't just because sometimes I feel like it.
Well, I feel like now people used to go to therapy and then go out into the world and live their lives, and now people go to therapy and then they're isolated by themselves in their home or their apartment, or they don't stop scrolling. They never end up doing the part 2, which is living it.
Interesting. Well, it's good to hear the Gen Z perspective.
Yeah, she's our Gen Z.
I want to learn about it. Yeah.
But it's also, I feel like the over therapized thing becomes also, I need to be, and this, I don't know, this is what happens in my head. When I had my crash out, I was like, I'm not ready to be I can't be in a relationship. I'm too, I got to work on this thing, right? It becomes another self-improvement or, project. So you're supposed to do therapy so that you're in more relationships.
Well, the goal
not
is that you
less.
unconditionally love yourself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you are, of course, perfectly amazing to be in a relationship if you want, up to you, not because you're not healed
Good
or
enough.
evolved
Yeah,
enough.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
you're amazing as you are.
Yeah.
So you have to have the relationship with yourself. Love yourself with all your flaws, all your great qualities, everything. And then just you kind of don't have total control. Because I mean, I have friends that are amazing and they're in a great relationship, and I have other friends that are amazing and they're not in a great relationship.
Yeah.
So some of it's within your control, some of it isn't,
Yeah.
And I was also going to say, I feel like the unconditional piece is so important because life is messy. I feel like people think that if I go to therapy, then life won't be messy. My life will be clean cut and easy, but that's not true. It's just that you love yourself unconditionally, like you were saying.
I mean, I think for me, the main thing I've used, which tell me if you guys, relate, but is finding that loving inner parent, because it's easy. It's really, I've been studying this kind of therapy. It's called internal family systems.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. It's where inside your head, you have this, you have a loving parent, and then you have these angry kids, or you have a sad little kid. So it's kind of getting in touch with that loving parent of inside yourself and just being I love you. You're great. You're evolving. That's so cool. You're working on yourself. It's you don't have to be perfect, right? Because if you had a kid, you wouldn't be well, go to therapy, and then when you're perfect, you can have a relationship. You'd be you're amazing as you are. It's incredible. You're working on yourself, things like that.
Wow, you're so mother. Do you know what that means? It's a total term.
Yeah.
That is the compliment of all compliments.
It's Gen Z.
Gen Z correspondent. Mother
it?
is the highest form of euphoria, peace,
Wow.
Xanax,
Really?
clarity.
Really,
if
really,
you are
really.
mother, then
Wow.
you are what everyone wants to be.
Yes.
You are
Queen.
Mother Mary
No, it
of
actually is
God.
making me emotional right now. I'm getting emotional, but I feel I had to develop that inside myself because I was not. So then it's so amazing because as I've learned how to do it for myself, you can do it for other people, and it's beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to watch you, Liz, stand up for yourself, ask for what you want, just be this sparkly person in the world,
You've taught me so well. And again, the whole monologue, the beginning of the show was me having. Oh wait, did I tell you? Wait, did I explain
what
it?
is it? Yeah,
the
tell
funeral from crazy. Because I'm healed. Everything's gonna be perfect. No, I'm kidding.
Okay,
No,
really?
No.
Yeah, your
but
life is awesome. I mean,
but see,
yeah.
that's the thing. I got here because of you. The way that again,
Right.
I'm looking at
I'm
everybody.
gonna start crying more. Okay.
Even you came in here oh my god, look at this great podcast. Oh my god, look at you. You remind me so much of you are like a loving guiding force in my life, and you've taught me also how to be a loving guiding
Crying
force
more.
for other people. And like,
I'm so glad.
but how does that make you feel to know that you are again, like, you didn't have that, and not only did you become that for yourself, but now you're doing it for so many other people.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's really rewarding. That's really rewarding. Yeah.
I'm like,
And people do it for me too, so it's not like I'm just like, I mean, a lot of people did it for me as well, so it's like wanting to give back what you have, you know.
I feel so lucky.
Oh.
I feel like
I wonder if I'll cry through the whole podcast.
Yeah.
Do you think we should?
I think we got Kleenex.
and it's also
It's
like
funny.
seeing your love for each other. Isn't it sad that we don't treat ourselves like that all the time? You know what I mean?
That's why
like,
you need your friends, right? Because your
Yeah.
friends will be like, you are being crazy right now, like not seeing how great you are. You know, you've done that to me too.
Yeah.
You're like, don't you know how great you are? Don't you know how hot you are? You know, and I'm just like, well, if Liz thinks it, you know, maybe it is true.
It blows my mind. Like, I'll be like standing in front of you, and I've talked about this with our friends,
Right.
where I'm like, how it's like you'll be like, oh, I wonder if I'll ever, and we're like, there's a line of men like globally. There's
I
an
know.
international
Sometimes you get insecure about my
line.
dating life, and Liz will be like, "Don't you even know who you are? You're fucking Heather Graham."
literally.
Have you? Do we again? I just feel like I need to have a mirror on my forehead when I'm talking to you, so that you know who you're who you are. I mean, but that's the thing. Like, I think great friends remind us of those things, right? Like, they love us into. I mean, again, like, it's how I feel after I hang out with you, where I'm like, oh, I just have this like warm little like glow inside of me.
Yeah.
And then you have it to
But I
give to
really
others.
believe it though, because I do think you're amazing. I think, first of all, I think Liz should host the Daily Show. That's my dream for Liz.
her, like,
Also,
problem.
or maybe have like a late night talk show. You know, like you know,
Like boy problems. I
like-
think this is it.
yeah, like
Yeah.
a Jimmy Fallon type. No, this. I mean, the world needs it, right?
100%.
Yes.
Sweet. Thank you to our podcast sponsor, You by Kotex. With their support, we stay comfortable, confident, and ready to take on every boy problem the world throws our way. Here's some dating advice I swear by. Care about her period. Like, actually know what kinds of pads or tampons she likes, and buy them. And if you're a single guy, keep tampons in your bathroom, out in the open. Nothing says emotionally available like a fully stocked period shelf. That's why I say every guy should keep a box of You by Kotex Click tampons in the cabinet. They're compact, easy to stash, and offer powerful protection. The #1 compact tampon that absorbs like a full size. Okay, this is gonna sound name droppy, but I'm sorry. It's just your life is so cool. I have to. So you were having a birthday party, an amazing birthday party, and you and Molly Shannon, an amazing other iconic woman, we're having this conversation about like movies you had seen that year.
Right.
And at one point Molly was like, oh, like, have you seen this movie? It's like Nicole Kidman. And like, oh yeah. And you were like, yeah, like Nicole Kidman's great. But like, why is she in every movie? Like, why don't they have other women of her age in more movies?
Right.
And you are building like an empire right now. I mean, you already have one, but you're like building a different kind of empire where you want to build this production company where you're creating all kinds of different films featuring women and featuring their stories and told from a female perspective. So yeah, like, I mean, talk about boy problems, like being the most sought after A-lister like actress, right? And like during also many times throughout, you know, the 90s, early 2000s, now like you've seen the progression of like different forms of sexism, right? And also feminism, you know, go back and forth. Like what kind of boy problems did that land in your lap?
Well, it did definitely, because I mean, obviously the movie business is sexist, and so many movies are written by, directed by, starring men. You know, there's some movies, of course, starring women, but they're fewer and farther between. And just a movie like, for example, Barbie, which I know you love, like that wasn't happening when I was coming up in the business.
Right.
So that did make me really want to have my own production company. I really admire people like Reese Witherspoon and Margot Robbie that are just telling these female-driven stories and helping women to see that they can be the storytellers. They don't have to just be like the girlfriend or the wife or the mom. Like, you can be this is your story. How you feel matters. And I love watching stuff like that.
So what do you want? I'm like turning it back on you.
No, I want my own production company where I can just green light movies about women, like all different stories about different kinds of women. And I like to be in some of them, maybe direct and write some of them, maybe not, just different stories that are interesting to me that are somehow empowering to women.
Yeah.
Because I feel like as a woman in this culture, you get, you know, you get a lot of negative messages, right? Negative messaging. And I think a lot of it is subliminally through movies, right? Like, even if I think about my favorite movies, like 80s teen comedies, like a 16 Candles or Breakfast Club, if you go watch those movies, there's pretty sexist, right?
Yeah.
And I grew up watching them, like, oh, throw this girl in the trunk, you know, in License to Drive, whatever. I get thrown in a trunk. Or, you know, in 16 Candles, this girl passes out and this guy's like, oh yeah, do whatever you want with her. Like, that's kind of date rape, basically, right? So we're sending these messages to men like, oh yeah, this stuff is okay. It's not okay. You know, I think we need more stories about how women feel about different things.
Yeah. And do you feel like we also need different boy characters or like different men? Like, what kind of male character would you like to also see on
I
screen?
think it'd be cool. I mean, you wrote that book For the Love of Men, to see more evolved masculinity, not just like he's James Bond and he kills all these people and every movie has a different girlfriend. You know, it's like, I want to see like an aspirational man that I'd want to be with, you know, like that's like a sexy, hot guy who's also like super loving and, you know, respectful
man on
appreciates
screen.
you. Yeah.
I mean, I think we've seen like a definitely like okay, we have Pedro Pascal with us.
He's adorable.
He's like, again, because I was like really upset. I was like, why do women love him so much? Many I did this like poll on Instagram.
He's got the whole Latin thing too.
Yes. But it's not just looks, because again, he's cute, but like I don't know, because I mean I get it, but I don't get it. So many people were like, he's hot and like in a safe way, that like, and people said he had bi guy energy.
Interesting.
Do you know a bi have you ever dated a bi guy?
It's like he's got a feminine side.
He's
too.
bi.
Oh, he's bi.
Yeah, or I don't think he's bi. Is Pedro Pascal bi?
I don't think so, but I can fact check
He
that.
just has bi guy energy.
Yeah.
You know, like guys.
Sensitive. Well, it's like you gave me that necklace, I think, for my birthday. It said "Let Boys Cry."
Yes.
Yeah, it's like I want a guy. You know, of course, you don't want someone who's a total like mess, but I want to be able to have an intimate conversation and for him to open up and be emotional and for us to both be open with each other and to feel like we can emotionally connect and have intimacy. And I think a lot of guys are taught like, oh, you can never let these feelings out, which is really sad.
Oh my God. I got pizza last night. I ordered pizza and then they had all the, you know, shakers, but there was no chili pepper in sight and I needed it. So I asked the pizza guy and he was like, oh, in the back where there's other tables. And so I go and I feel this like weird energy. Like I'm like, oh, and then there's like 6 tables. Yeah. And one teenage boy is seated at each table. They're a group, but they're all seated at different tables and they're all talking, but they're seated so far apart. And then I had to go in the middle of this like, I don't know what to call it, this bro situation. And I was like, I felt like, you know, when you're at the gym and you're like in the weight, there's like all these men and you're like, oh my God, this is so masculine. Yeah. And then I left and I was like, oh my God, these boys aren't even sitting next to each other. Like they all have, they clearly want to talk. They're spending time together, but they have to have these buffered seats.
Like, I mean, it's sad because I know guys and they're going through a hard time and they don't talk. It doesn't feel like they talk to someone about it. Like I have a friend of a friend and he committed suicide. And I just think like, did that guy talk to anyone? You know, like did he have anyone to talk to? I feel like some guys, they don't.
Yeah, maybe guys need committees.
Yeah, they need a little friend group that they can talk to. Yeah.
Do you have an Achilles heel with men?
I think sometimes in the past I have been attracted to guys that have problems.
Boy problems.
Yeah, boy problems. That's my problem.
Yeah. Type?
Like I would like to be attracted to the guy who's like so loving, so nice, so happy, so available. Like I would like that, you know? Like no problems.
No problems.
Or just little small problems.
Yeah, solvable problems.
Yeah, cute little just human and you know.
Or problems that he's open to solving. I feel like some of the guys you've dated, it's like it's okay to have problems, but are you open to fixing them? And like, are
it's
you
also guys being
them?
accountable. Like we've talked about this before. Like somebody can do something wrong, but then a lot of guys try to pretend like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. It's all your problem. Yeah. But I really admire someone who can go, yeah, like I screwed up. Like, yeah, I have a problem. We're going to work on it. You have a right to be upset about that, you know, because you feel like, okay, great, we're in the same reality here. You're not gaslighting me, you know?
I feel like so much of that is also like patriarchy, right? They're like literally not supposed to even ask for directions when they get lost at like gas stations. So then to say like, oh, I was wrong or I did something wrong. Yeah. I think it's so tied up into it, unfortunately.
Well, that's cool because you scientifically studied it all. So
oh my God. I love Look at her just validating me. Thank you to our podcast sponsor, You by Kotex. With their support, we stay comfortable, confident, and ready to take on every boy problem the world throws our way. Before we get into our audience's boy problems, we have amazing period questions that have been submitted by our listeners. Today's question is, my girlfriend always packs like 5 different products when we travel. Why so many? Okay, you know how people pack like 8 pairs of underwear for a 4-day trip just in case? The same logic applies here. It's the voice in our heads that screams, well, what if my period starts 2 days early and it's the heaviest flow I've ever experienced? Even though logically, like we know it'll likely be similar to last month's timing, we'd rather be safe than sorry. Periods can be unpredictable, so it's all about having options. With You by Kotex, she's ready for whatever her cycle throws at her, especially with products like balance pads and click tampons that move with her for outstanding comfort and provide up to 100% leak-free protection. Overpacking, maybe. Smart? Absolutely. Okay, so I've not seen these. So
okay,
I'm
so excited.
Discovering them with you.
That is so fun. I want to hear their problems.
Okay, so this one is called
Okay.
Dad and Brother Problems.
Okay.
Hey, Liz and Heather. My brother and father do not communicate with each other. I have my own relationships with each of them. Curious if you have any advice on how to navigate this. And do I have any responsibility to try and help them fix their relationship? I'm getting married in September and they're both invited and I'm nervous about that. Would love your advice on how to prepare.
Wow.
I'm curious what you think.
Okay. All right. My thoughts are, it seems a little bit out of her control, right? I get she wants them to love each other, but it's not something she can really control, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I have a friend, she goes, you say it once, you say it twice. By the 3rd time, you become the crazy person. I mean, she could say
That is so good.
Yeah,
Say that again.
You say it once, you can say it once, you can say it twice. By the 3rd time, you become the crazy person. So you could be like, I want you guys to get along. I want you guys to get along. And then like you keep saying it over and over, but if they don't get along, they don't get along.
Wow.
So she might have more peace if she just accepts that they don't get along and just let them not get along and just have them come to her wedding and just, like accept that it's not perfect, you know?
Yeah. Wow. I thought I
Or what were you gonna say? What were you gonna say?
But this is a new one. Yeah, you do. If you said it twice, a 3rd time is like now you're the one that's like doing something wrong.
I mean, she could say to them like, "Look, please, can you try to get along for my wedding?" I mean, she could try saying that. I don't know.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I do think again, like in your mind, again, like your idea of their happiness, it's still your idea of their happiness, right? Them being, together and getting along or whatever the hell, right? Like, and again, this like ideal situation that you're imagining at your wedding, like that's your
fantasy.
Yeah, that's you, right?
Yeah.
Like that might not actually make them happier.
Yeah.
And again, like I totally relate to this where like I feel like before I knew you, I literally thought like I knew better than other people. I'd be like, no, you want this, and they'd be like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
And so this does. I mean, I feel like a lot of our problems.
Yeah.
Like, and you do this when I come to you.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm repeating myself, but I'll be like, and then he did this, and then this happened, and then he did that, and you're like, what do you bring the focus back on you, right? Because this is actually,
you can't force
it is
people to
a
get
boy
along.
problem, but it's a you problem, right? Like you're bothered by their relationship, which you can't change,
right?
And so what can you change for you, right?
Yeah.
So that you're happier, so that you're not going into your wedding stressed out. Give up?
Yeah. Well, they say expectations are premeditated resentment. So if you expect and want them to get along and then they don't, and then you're mad at them, it's probably more peaceful for her to just go get a massage and accept that they don't.
Yeah.
They're not getting along.
Right.
And just go, whatever.
Not your problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like your biggest problem. I love like Abraham Hicks, and she'll be like, if you have this big problem, what do you do? What do you do? Go to the beach. She's like, go have fun. Like, just like whatever.
Enjoy, like being gratitude. Like she's getting married. She's in love. Be excited about your wedding. Let them just have their problems among themselves.
And again, I think to your point, like I would say for my your wedding is your wedding.
Yeah.
And so you can be like, I don't say what you want. Like say you want them to be able to sit next to each other and not bicker or not.
Or maybe don't put them next to each other.
Or don't put them next to each other.
Sometimes you could tell your friends, like, look, can you guys please help me stay away from this drama? Like if drama erupts, can you guys like,
Yes, I did that. I had a friend get married, and it's a mother issue. Her mom is a very has a very difficult person and unpredictable personality, and so we had a kind of a sign of like, if you need me to go manage your mom. And again, like your friends want your wedding to be beautiful.
Maybe
and
like tell like 4 of your best friends, like, can you please monitor this for me? And if like something's going terribly, like just like remove them
remove them.
Or, because her goal is like enjoy the most, memorable, one of the more memorable days of your life, and just like don't let their drama be part of it.
Weddings. Have you ever thought of getting married?
I mean, I've thought of it, but I'm kind of a little bit, I think, unconventional, and then I'm kind of happy to not get married. But if it ever happens, sure. But it's not like a goal. It's not like a life goal. For you, what do you think?
Basically, like it's absent. Like when I was like 8, I really wanted to be married.
And then, it's romantic.
It's cute. And in my 20s, I was like, I don't like this. And I don't need this. And then in my now that I don't know if I'm like wait, did I not tell you? Okay. I think I'm in perimenopause.
Shut up.
I think so. I just got my period, and I just had it 2 weeks ago.
I love how open you are. That is hilarious.
Like,
what are your symptoms? Just like any
I got my period, and I just had it 2 weeks ago, which makes no sense. And then I had my period 2 weeks ago. When I had my period 2 weeks ago, I couldn't get out of bed. Like I had a birthday party. I had cramps and like tiredness that was so intense that I was like in bed all day, which like feels a little weird. Oh yeah, and then I woke up with sweats.
Interesting.
And I'm brain foggy, but that might be
well, you froze your eggs, so
I did freeze
covered.
my eggs. I have 13. Come and get
I mean,
and get
hard
them.
to say unless you go to a doctor, but
did you have symptoms?
I did get like sweating and things like that, but then it kind of goes away. I never had any brain fog, but you can do like acupuncture and herbs and stuff like that.
Anyway, I don't even know why I brought this up. Why did I bring up perimenopause?
We were talking about
weddings. Oh yeah, perimenopause. I feel like feral and like I feel like a little. Okay, I always felt like men were the uncontrollable gender in the sense that like their biology is like very determining of their like behaviors, and now I feel like I relate in my 30s. Like I'm way more
it's a time
feral.
for women that go like, okay, if I want to have a kid, I gotta figure this out right now, and it really is intense for women. I think the 30s. Like
I feel like again the urge to get married and have kids is like weirdly present. But then I hang out with you and I'm like, or again all our friends, and I'm like, all my friends like
we keep talking about that study where like single women are happier than married
talk about
women.
that.
Yeah, so there's a study. It basically says single women, like women are so nurturing, they're so loving. So women that are single, they give so much love and nurturing to themselves. And then single women and then married men, because married men are getting love, they're getting all this attention, they're getting all the support. Yeah.
So staying single is
healthier. Look, if you are in love and happy, I think it's great. I'm happy for you. But I think if you're single, like, you should know that scientific studies show that I think they live longer, they are happier.
Yeah.
So you're not missing out necessarily, you know?
Yeah, I had this point, and again, you were a huge part of that, where I was like, again, I kept focusing on it. Yeah. I focused on the fact that of my age and like what I thought, where I thought I would be at my age. I know
you always. The thing that sucks about women is that we're always like, I'm too old.
Yes.
I'm too old. It's like, I felt this way too. I felt that way when I was 21. I looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, oh my God, I have a line under my eye. We're told to always be worried about being too old, which sucks.
Yeah. It's like, so true.
We have to stop doing that.
We had a guest who's 29, Delaney, and she was like, I'm so old. I'm like the oldest you'll ever. And you're right.
All these girls are getting Botox in their 20s. It's hilarious.
I know, but you're right. Like, we'll always feel like too old.
I think women are constantly told like, oh, you're going to get too old, and I just feel like that's why I love that some women are taking over different parts of the culture and just giving a new message, which is just like, we can be fabulous at every age. Because I remember when I was young, it was like, well, you're not accomplished enough. There's always telling us something is wrong, right? So how do we just like unplug from that and just feel like we're fabulous exactly as we are,
Exactly. I love that. But you've helped me do that a lot. And yeah, basically a couple months ago, I was like, oh my God, like my life is so great. Actually, and
I felt the same when I was in my 30s. Like, I'm getting too old. I'm too old. Now I look back at pictures of me in my 30s. I'm like, why was I thinking? I was ruining fun times. Do you know what I mean? Like,
you're always
30s is young. Like, you're so young.
Right.
Plus, you have frozen eggs. So the only biological thing that does matter, you've already thought of it.
Yeah. I just have to be put down like a dog, so I don't want to have sex all the time. Okay, so high school sweethearts. Liz, dear God woman, I need your help. Oh my God. I'm leaving my husband of 15 years. Yesterday was our wedding anniversary. Cue, it's time to go from Evermore. I realized about 3 years ago that I was in an abusive narcissistic relationship. It took all this time for me to be ready to go. His charm and ability to manipulate me have me doubting my choice. We met in high school and have been together for 23 years. Wow. I have never had another relationship. There's no question,
Why
but
do you think that she's never had sex with anyone else?
maybe. I mean, if she met in high school. Wow,
Well, she's
how
brave.
exciting.
She's very brave. I mean, obviously to get to that point, he must have done some pretty bad shit. I don't know if we're allowed to curse, but I think good for you.
Yeah, we can curse. It's encouraged.
Yeah. I mean, we need to support this woman. Do
Yeah.
what's good for her. She can take our little motto, if you're meant to be together, nothing will keep you apart. If you're not meant to be together, nothing will keep you together. I mean, maybe she should try some other people. Or you can just be single and just really do all those loving things for yourself that you wish your partner did but never did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I think a narcissistic abusive relationship is really, again, like, it's brain damage.
You're really like knowledgeable about that. I'll say.
Thank you.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is my skill. Really came from years of making really bad decisions.
Yeah.
But no, I have been randomly exposed to those kinds of relationships. I've had friends who have been in those relationships, and I think that it's not like a regular breakup. Like, that's the
Right.
thing I tell people.
Because they kind of like take away your self-esteem. But you know, I spent hours online. Well, of course I talked to you, but I spent hours online on that Jimmy on relationships.
Wait, tell me about it. I was going to ask you.
He has a really funny video about being with a narcissist. Do you know that one about what if the narcissist was honest?
Yeah.
And it's this very funny, and he has humor about it. So I think if you're in a relationship that's abusive, like, definitely it's a good thing you're out of it. But I think if you use humor and just love yourself, because a lot of it is forgiving yourself for like being in it, you know, and just like, you know, loving yourself even though you made a choice that was painful.
There's a lot of self-blame.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of judgment.
Because a lot of narcissists don't take accountability, so they try to
Right.
get you to take all the responsibility, and then you
Yes.
suddenly feel like, oh my God, I'm doing everything wrong, and they try to act like they're perfect. So
it's true.
It's confusing.
And they're very sophisticated at figuring out what makes you insecure.
Yeah.
There's this stereotype about narcissists, like, they're just super self-involved and they're selfish and they don't care and they don't have empathy. But there's this, I think it's called dark empath.
Wow.
It's a term that kind of spooks me out, because when I read it, I was like, oh my God. And I think a lot of narcissists can be dark empaths, where they actually are able to feel empathy. They can even, again, have a lot of feelings when you share things with them. They'll cry about something that happened to you as a kid or whatever. But then they'll as soon as they'll use it against you.
Do you want the AI overview?
Yes. Give us the
okay.
AI overview. What is a dark empath?
A dark
Adriana?
empath is a term describing individuals who possess high cognitive empathy, parentheses, understanding others' emotions, but lack effective empathy, experiencing those emotions themselves.
Okay.
Wow.
I remember we've already talked about this, but I went to a wedding. So I'm in this really bad relationship. We break up, and then I go to a wedding in a foreign country. I won't say the country. And I meet this guy at the wedding who trains special ops in the art of deception. And I was like, immediately, like, I don't care about anyone else at this table. I'm just
that
interviewing
is
you.
Fascinating. Yeah.
And I was like, what's your definition of a narcissist? And he said that. He said basically someone who has really, because I've always imagined like some like
for sure.
crazy
He
psycho
seems like
CEO or whatever, right? Like someone who has no empathy, like sociopath. Like, no, he was like someone who has really high, like, cognitive empathy, but low feeling empathy. So like they understand emotions really well, but they don't feel them. And that blew my mind, because that was really what I was dealing with this person. And the bridesmaid at the wedding that I was at 4 years later turns out to be the woman that he is now married to.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
At this wedding. Anyway,
Wow.
it's kind of a twist.
Well, I think too, like, I felt like when someone hurts your feelings and you could see that they are glad about it, to me, that is like, you can really feel the lack of empathy.
Has that ever
there.
happened to
Yes.
you?
Like, where you
Oh.
look at someone and they're just kind of getting off on the fact that they've hurt you. That's when I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, no. And they're really good at crocodile tears. They'll cry, but it's like fake. It's like not, or again, actually, they'll start crying when you get upset. So you'll be crying about something and you'll be like really upset, and then they'll start crying, and so then you can't cry anymore. Or that's what would happen to me.
Interesting.
I would immediately be like, well, now I have to like
Take care of
tend
you.
to you,
Yeah,
and also
yeah,
like, why
yeah.
are you crying? And then it just would make me kind of numb.
Yeah, interesting.
And that's when I was like, this is bad. So I guess my point is like,
Yeah.
this is not a normal breakup. Also, like, a lot of people will give you advice that's not great and useful because
you should
they
seek out a
haven't
lot
been
of
through
support
it.
from
Yes.
really, you know.
like a skilled person. Or again,
Yeah.
if you therapy's expensive,
Actually,
I get it.
EMDR, you know, I've been going to EMDR. It's pretty cool. 'Cause you're
EMDR
probably
is
kind of traumatized
incredible.
by that. Yeah.
I have a great therapist if you DM me. And she's really not expensive. And also there's 12-step programs. There's like free community
Right.
options for survivors of like these kinds of
Yeah.
relationships because
Yeah.
it's no joke.
Yeah.
It is not normal. Like, again, I remember at the time, like, my friend Daryl was like, whatever, because anyway, he was just like, whatever, just focus on you. Like, he told me the most generic, like, just be happy for him. I was like, you should go to jail for telling me that. There should be
That
a
is so
punishment,
funny.
corporal punishment. Like, get out of my face. Be happy for the person who traumatized me. Right. But anyway.
That's how you're detached, though. You know you're detached when you can be happy for it. You're like, thank God it's not me. Like,
Right.
poor her, actually. You should probably feel slightly
Yeah.
bad for her because she's
Yes.
probably being tortured.
Yes, and they
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, I think there's a big fear. I know I had it that it's like, oh, what if he changes for the next one? And it's like,
Oh,
if
I
they have
know.
this disease,
That has
like,
been
they
my
don't.
fear with different relationships where I'm afraid to break up. I'm like,
Yes.
what if my breakup
Yes.
stimulates them to be the
Yes.
best part of themselves that I fell in love with, and then the next person gets it, not me. You know?
You're like
It's
the origin story of their like.
You're like, I gotta hang in
emotional
there to
healing.
see if it's gonna happen.
But that, Heather, that is so rational
Yeah.
because there was a show
no,
I
I
wanted
have this
to,
like
yeah.
person that would be like, I'm on a verge of a breakthrough. You know, it's like that verge of a breakthrough is such like a little crumb. You're like,
Yes.
you're on the verge of a breakthrough, but you're never gonna have the breakthrough.
Yes.
But you're on the verge. You know.
And then you stick around because we've all seen it
Yeah.
happen. They become the improved version of themselves for the next girlfriend.
But you don't really know what's going on because you're not in the
That's
relationship.
true.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do
people
this.
It's easy for people to look good if they just show up at a party or you see a
That's
picture of them on
true.
Instagram. You don't really know.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's what my therapist told me a lot.
Yeah.
This is great. But yes,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're not alone.
Yeah.
You're not crazy. You've been told you've been crazy. One last thing.
I would
it's
like get a lot of great girlfriends, or if you have a great guy
Yes.
friends, just like you got to vent this stuff to your friends.
Get
And
a really cool hobby.
maybe go on a yoga retreat, or
Yes.
get a lot of massages.
Yeah.
I love craniosacral therapy. That has helped me so much, just like relax my nervous system because she's probably like traumatized.
Yeah, you are traumatized.
Yeah.
And don't think that you should be okay by now, right?
Yeah.
Like, or again, if you know that it was abuse and it was bad.
It's been like 15 years or 23.
Yeah,
or
this
15
is-
years. That's a long time.
that's
Yeah.
your entire prefrontal cortex development. Like, you're gonna, again, it's
But she should get excited about her future possibilities
Yes.
with maybe dating some people that might be better.
Yes, that's the thing, and
Yeah.
you'll just be amazed because you were dealing with, like, So and that can be very healing.
Yeah.
When like you're dating someone
Dress
new.
up, dress sexy, go
Yes.
out, feel cute,
Hot.
like just like flirt.
Be proud
Flirt
of
with
yourself.
life.
It's a new era.
Yeah.
Good for you. Okay, high school sweetheart.
She could do affirmations too. Like,
Yes.
I'm with
Yeah.
the love of my life. It's the most healthy, loving relationship I've ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loved and supported, and he's an incredibly kind,
Yes.
sexy person.
Yes. Be
Yeah.
Delulu. That's all I do all day. I just imagine I'm married. I bought a ring. It was $3 in Thailand. And then sometimes I'm sad. I'm like, I'm married. It's fine. I'm like, so like my
Are
husband's
you
at
wearing
home.
that out when
Yeah.
you're going out?
I know. And my friend
So
Taylor was
funny.
like, that's how you don't meet a guy.
Exactly.
Like, but I think that's how I feel like, no?
Yeah.
You're so funny.
I think it's helping me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I don't need to, like,
I mean, some guys might not approach you if they see that you're wearing a wedding ring. You know, they might be like, she's taken.
I do, yeah. I feel like, do people look at rings? I feel like it's 80s. Like
no,
do
so
people,
I don't, but I realize all my friends do.
I think
do?
if I met a guy and I noticed he was wearing a wedding ring, I'd probably
Right.
be like, oh, he's married.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a
Right.
very valid thought.
Yeah, Adriana was like, you didn't say anything about my ring trick.
No.
No, I had a friend, and she kept, this is a friend of a friend, she kept wearing her wedding ring from her ex-husband, and they were like, that's bad juju, because you're not,
Oh, no.
moving on.
No,
You're-
that's bad.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Okay, so the sole breadwinner. My girlfriends and I are all married to men and are in our early 40s. I'm the breadwinner in my family and lead all major decisions planned for our family with input and consideration from my husband and kids. However, my girlfriends who are not breadwinners do not feel empowered to take this position in their own families. They're often overruled by their husbands and feel they have to compromise on their needs, wishes, because he supports the family financially. When I discuss this with my husband, he's often shocked that they don't speak up for themselves and demand more consideration power. I feel the same, and it's heartbreaking to see brilliant women defer to their husbands on all major family decisions. Advice for me, them, thanks.
She sounds fine.
She sounds great. She sounds
pretty happy. Yeah, for her friends, I mean, well, I guess it's like, are the friends upset about it, or are they like okay with it? I don't know, but yeah, I wouldn't want that personally.
Yeah.
That's sad. I mean, I think that's a very traditional, patriarchal, like, let the guy make all the decisions, you know? It's like, goes back to what do you want and asking for it. Like the two more important things about life. What do I want? Get clear on that and then ask for it.
Yeah, and I think there's a weird dynamic where obviously bring the breadwinner or provider, right? We have these sort of terms, right, that are like very masculine adjacent, and so he's providing money, but she's providing a lot of value, monetary value things, right? Like they would have to pay for childcare, they would have to pay for someone to clean, someone to cook, someone to do all those things. So I think weirdly it sets up a dynamic where women's labor is undervalued, and I think that seeps into these relationships. And then
maybe the friends should go to therapy, or figure out a way to where they can get strong enough to start asking for what they want.
I think that it starts with like, put a number. I don't know. There's some people who have literal contracts,
no, that's smart.
right?
Like, okay, all the work I did with the childcare and this that would have cost you blah blah blah.
Literally.
So I want blah blah blah. Yeah.
There's even a trend right now on TikTok where women are saying that husbands should pay their stay-at-home wives. Like there should be a monetary value there. Okay. But again,
well, look, if these women divorce their husbands, the husband's gonna have to cough up like 50%. So it's cheaper to just like
get along.
Yeah, definitely. yeah. I mean, look, this is sad and maybe this is too dramatic, but men start to take you really seriously when you threaten to break up with them. If you're like, I'm leaving you in case blah 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 blah, or like I need to be in this relationship, I need da 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 da. You can like get the guy to take you seriously.
Yeah.
Like,
why are they like that? I would like them to listen to us before we.
I broke
suitcase.
up with a boyfriend and because I could never get him to really talk to me. I'm like, what are you thinking? And he would never talk to me. So I finally broke up with him. He's like, this is what I'm thinking. And then he was being like all emotional. And he's like, and I'm like, well, but how do I know you're going to do this in the future? He's like, well, you just have to break up with me and then I'll do it.
He said that?
Yeah. And I'm just like, so every single time that I want to know what you're thinking, I have to break up with you? I'm like, that sounds so stressful.
That's crazy.
No, but he said that. He said, it's your job. You should have just broken up with me in the past and then I would have told you.
We need a man. We need a man to explain this. No, because I feel this deeply in my soul. I had an ex-boyfriend that whatever. There were a lot of things with like kids and like his arrangement with his his ex and stuff like that. And there was just like it got to the point where it just like wasn't. Yeah, like he wasn't doing the thing I was asking him to do over and over and over again. Yeah. And I knew. I was like, I remember breaking up with him. I remember exactly where I was in the kitchen and like sitting on the counter, and I was like, well, you're gonna have it all figured out for your next girlfriend. And he did. And again, we're friends, like it's fine. But like he did. Like he did go, oh my God, I need to do things very differently. But it also gets to the point where guys can, and again, this happens to, all genders, but like you feel so like eroded like from the like you feel like you're just like full of scars. Yeah. And it gets to a point where you're like, I'm too hurt to keep doing this. Even if you change now.
Once like you get to the point of breaking up with them, sometimes you're just like exhausted. Right? But that's why, our friend Nina, she's like, you need to threaten sooner. You need to start threatening sooner. Right when you're getting like kind of feeling like, I don't know if I can keep, you need to threaten sooner so that then you don't have to, because then once you're exhausted, no matter what they do, you're just like, I'm like exhausted.
Yeah. Okay, so threaten sooner. That's a good episode title.
That is.
And a good rule of thumb.
Because I feel like a lot of times men won't take you fully seriously until you're like, I'm leaving you unless you do this.
Yeah,
you know?
and they don't, again, like my crash out from last weekend, it was like a thing that I'd kind of like voiced, but I was like, I had assumed that he was doing and assumed like, but you can't give them too, like,
You
too
kind of
much
have
of the
to like a
benefit of the
little bit
doubt.
show them that you're serious. Like,
Yeah.
go away, you know, or just like show them that like, this is how I want to be treated. And like, you got to step it up.
Yeah, you got to be firm and then threaten to, and then be strong enough to say like, I'm not going to put up with this. I hate that I'm using parenting advice to talk about how to have a relationship with men. But if you threaten with a consequence, the consequence has to happen, right? So if you say, we're getting off the playground because if you don't, we're not having dessert, you don't get them dessert.
Right.
So that's how you treat your man.
Don't make threats you don't intend to carry out.
Don't make threats you don't intend to carry out. But threaten early and threaten.
You don't have to threaten like I'll break up. You could also be just like, for me to stay in this relationship, you need to do this.
Right.
Like otherwise,
that's
I'm
a really
gonna do
good
that.
way to frame it though, because I feel sometimes it can just be so kind of embarrassing. It's like, but I want this and I feel this, and it's like, oh no, I'm not gonna be in this relationship.
But I'm kind of curious, and maybe like your listeners, but like, because do some women just like it if the man makes all the decisions and they're just kind of going along with it and they just want?
That's a great
or are
question.
just women feeling like, well, this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Because I'm not like this, but I'm just curious.
I think some women do. I think also there's like a strange, again, not to, I feel like we've done a lot of Gen Z slander, and this is not a Gen Z slander podcast, but I do think there's like millennial women were sold this like boss bitch, like you can do anything, girl boss, like, and it's great, but also it came with a lot of like, wait, is this my life? So, you know, a lot of women, honestly, my age have had a similar experience of sort of waking up at, you know, in your late 30s and you're like, oh, my job is great. I have everything I want with my career, but like my relationships, or, you know, I didn't really prioritize my my life. And I think Gen Z are having a little bit of a backlash to it. So there's this whole like stay-at-home girlfriend trend. Do you know about that?
No, I love learning these things.
Okay, so stay-at-home.
Teach me about Gen Z.
Yeah, Gen Z
So
correspondent.
Gen Z correspondent. What is a stay-at-home girlfriend?
What is it?
Well, there are a lot of influencers on TikTok where their whole beat is stay-at-home girlfriend. So they take a day in the life of me as a stay-at-home girlfriend, and their role is just to support. Or have you seen that trend that's like, when I get the call from my boyfriend that he's coming home from work at 5:30, and like instantly she starts cooking, and that's how she intros what she's making for dinner that night.
Interesting.
I hate that.
Very
Why do I
trad
hate that?
wife.
But I feel like, look, if that's who you are, cool. But I can't imagine that like all women are like that, right? Yeah. That's interesting.
And I think there's a certain...
Because it goes back to what you're saying. Like, I want to be able to say, well, I don't want to live there, or maybe I don't want to do this, or maybe I want to go on this vacation, or I want to hang out with my friends. I don't want to be like, what do you want? What do you want? You know what I mean? I feel like that's...
It's like McDonald's versus like a really delicious meal. It's like appealing. I get it. I get it.
It's nice. People want to feel taken care of.
But
everyone does,
right?
Yeah.
And I see those stay-at-home girlfriends videos when I'm coming back from work at 8 p.m. and I'm like, oh, that sounds nice. You went to Pilates and your boyfriend, you just made him chicken and like that's it. He pays for everything. But that's great. But long term, like, is that nourishing? Is that building you up?
Also, it's fun to have something that you like to do that's fun. That's just outside of, to have your own identity and something that you feel passionate about, even if it's just like a hobby or something like that.
Get hobby, hot girl hobby. What's your hot girl hobby?
Hot girl hobby, yoga.
I opened today. I was looking for an umbrella because it was like pouring, and then I opened this like.
It's all these yoga mats.
All these yoga, like it was like almost all. I was like, she's so cute. You are amazing.
I love you, Liz. I'm so proud of you. This is a great show. I can't wait to listen to all your episodes. You're amazing.
Thank you for being so supportive.
I've learned so much about Gen Z today. No.
Thank you for sharing your incredible advice, wisdom. People should go and check out. You have an amazing Instagram. You have an amazing movie called Chosen Family that's like top 3 on Hulu right now. Get it while it's hot. You are starting your own production company. If anyone has millions of dollars and wants to invest it in the best thing to invest your money ever.
Liz and then she'll call me.
And if you want to date Heather Graham, DM me. She has too many DMs. She can't handle it, but I will. Just put subject line, I want to date the hottest woman ever. And I will go through your messages. But I don't know if she'll have time for you. Sorry. There's a long line. I love you, and come back anytime.
You're amazing.
Bye.
Yay, Liz.
Bye, everybody.
Yay.